From no AC,
they are not going to give you anything than what you have right now, despite you sweating 5 nights every single night that you've been on this ship.
to random heron beds.
I'm literally gonna puke. Oh my god, frick me. Okay, I'm calling for new sheets because there are literally someone else's hair and skin flakes, or I don't know what's going on in here, but...
Today, we're counting down the worst cruise ship experiences ever recorded. Starting with number 9. This cruise marketed itself as a floating party. Bright colors, cheap prices, island vibes. But passengers quickly learned why it was rated so badly.
Margaritaville at Sea, also known as the world's worst rated.
The ship was Margarita at Sea Paradise, operated by Margaritaville at Sea. Cabins had no windows. Some guests found dirty sheets, leftover hair, and signs of poor cleaning.
All this stuff in my bed. Please don't tell me they're bed bugs. But what is it? It's like, oh, whose hair is that? Oh my god, that's not my hair. I literally just took off the bed sheets. Okay, there's another little guy over here.
Water wasn't free. One bottle cost almost $5. Excursions were canceled at the last minute. Entertainment was hit or miss, with activities canceled due to low turnout. Some guests said the best part of the cruise was getting off the ship. This wasn't luxury, it was survival mode at sea. If this was disappointing, the next one shocked passengers who expected way more. Moving on to number 8, this next ship came from a cruise line known for mega ships and big promises, but reviews told a different story. Passengers rated Quantum of the Seas, operated by Royal Caribbean International, as one of the worst reviewed ships in the fleet. The biggest complaint? Food.
Food was lacking on board compared to other ships and some even local restaurants. While it wasn't terrible and I did enjoy most of it, considering that we spent over $13,000 for 8 of us, I was expecting better quality food.
Guests described the meals as bland, cold, and worse than cafeteria food. Buffets were overcrowded. Dining rooms felt rushed. Pizza was undercooked. Portions were small.
I did find the food especially lacking was in the main dining rooms. The food is cold and lacking in taste, and the service is understandably slow. In my opinion, stick with the buffet as it actually offers the exact same food except it's fresh and a whole lot quicker.
People expected Royal Caribbean quality. What they got felt like a downgrade. And sometimes it's not just the ship, it's how the company handles problems. On Carnival Radiance, which is number 7 on our list, passengers didn't just complain about noise or mess. They described the entire ship as out of control. In one incident, nearly 18 to 19 passengers were removed at once while the ship was docked in Bimini, Bahamas after violent behavior crossed the line.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not even 10, but 18 to 19 people I counted got kicked off of the Carnival cruise ship for fighting.
What made Radiance stand out wasn't one argument, it was the pattern. Guests said security reacted late, problems escalated fast, and tension kept building instead of being shut down early. When a cruise reaches the point where dozens of people are kicked off in a foreign port, it shows the ship lost control long before that moment. And when tempers don't cool down, even guest services can turn into a battleground. Moving on to number 6, a different kind of chaos unfolded aboard Carnival Dream. This time there were no punches, just pure entitlement. A passenger whose cabin air conditioning allegedly failed for several days stormed guest services, demanding a bigger refund. When the staff explained that corporate-approved credit was only for part of the cruise, she refused to leave the line. The argument grew louder. She blocked other guests, yelled at staff, and demanded security.
More than what they already gave you. So if they gave you nothing, that is what you're gonna get. Because this is the supervisor, the manager, the team lead right here. What's her name? Maria. Maria just told me that corporate decided that they cannot give you anything else. So you might want to get out of line.
Instead of resolving the issue, her behavior turned a normal complaint into a public scene. What made Carnival Dream look bad here wasn't the broken AC. It was how quickly one guest felt entitled to special treatment, ignoring everyone else around her. But not every bad cruise is loud. Some feel wrong the moment you step on board. Carnival Conquest is often called the cruise from hell online, and that is why it is number 5. The ship has been linked to fights, power outages, and repeated security problems.
Behind me is the world's worst cruise. Don't believe me? Well, what if I told you it's crashed, had dozens of fights on board, full-on animal outbreaks, extreme power outages, and it's even caught on fire?
The ship sells extremely cheap tickets, sometimes as low as $50, which brings massive crowds and a non-stop party vibe. Buffets are overcrowded, hallways smell of smoke, and large groups gather fast. For many cruisers, Carnival Conquest isn't just rowdy, it's unpredictable, and that's why experienced passengers often warn others to stay away. Next is a ship that looks modern on paper, but struggles where it matters most. Before we get into the wildest ones, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and join us because you won't want to miss what's coming next. At number 4, this Costa Cruises ship sailing a 3-day route from Barcelona to Italy and Marseille immediately gives off a red flag vibe. The terminal and boarding area feel unusually empty, especially when compared to nearby Norwegian ships that look busy and polished. That quiet, low-energy atmosphere lines up with the ship's 1-star reputation online. On board, the cabins reinforce the budget feel. Rooms are clean but extremely basic. No mini fridge, no complimentary water, and no hand soap in the bathroom.
So there's no mini fridge, there's no water, no nothing. There is no way of getting a drink in here. I'm guessing there's no room service, is there? Okay, so it turns out there is room service, so if you need a drink, you need to ring them. You think you'd put a complimentary bottle of water in here, wouldn't you?
Towels appear heavily used, and the mattress feels firm. The main upside is the balcony view over the Mediterranean, which stands out as one of the few premium elements of the experience. Next, a cruise line that looks beautiful but struggles behind the scenes. Number 3 is MSC Cruises, which is ranked based on a sailing aboard MSC Divina, a ship that debuted in 2012 but already felt unpleasant and poorly run. Despite not being old, the ship suffered from disappointing food, boring entertainment, and weak service.
Large portions of the buffet were closed, even though it was a full ship. So that meant that everyone was crammed into one section of the buffet, and it was insanely crowded and difficult to get food. There were a couple times at the buffet when there was nowhere to sit because the tables were all dirty and not bussed.
Meals in the main dining room arrived cold and of low quality, with pasta compared to boxed macaroni. Entertainment was described as dull, and customer service issues followed passengers even after the cruise ended, including a refund that required weeks of phone calls and a credit card dispute to resolve. The overall experience left a strong never again impression. And sometimes the biggest letdown isn't chaos or dirt, it's boredom. On Celebrity Cruises, number 2 on the list, the frustration isn't about dirt or chaos, it's about expectations versus reality. The ship looks very polished and upscale right from the start, with a grand lobby, live music, and stylish spaces that feel premium. But the problem shows up in the experience, not the appearance. Several reviews complain the cruise feels boring, especially at night, and that starts to make sense once the entertainment is tested. Trivia rooms are quiet, bingo is barely active, and many activities feel aimed at an older crowd, leaving younger passengers with little to do.
The Sky Lounge. Inside is the most older generation activity ever. Trivia. Does anyone actually know the answers to these questions? I didn't know. Maybe this cruise actually is made for older people.
The biggest letdown is the shows. Theater performances are described as dull, with magic and comedy acts that don't really land. Even other passengers openly call them snooze-worthy, backing up the criticism that the entertainment just doesn't hit. Which brings us to a ship that doesn't fail dramatically. It simply fails to feel like a vacation. Finally, at number 1, we have the Carnival Elation, which has had problem after problem. One night, the power went out while this ship was at sea. The hallways went dark, and passengers grabbed life jackets because they didn't know what was happening. Later, the ship had fresh water issues and had to stop at another port just to refill.
And I just wanted to update that the Carnival Elation right now is having trouble producing enough fresh water.
So always research the ship, always read reviews, and remember, cheap tickets can cost you peace.